Hello and welcome back to Hannah and Nick's Motorhome Adventures. Thanks again for joining us. Today we want to talk to you about what turned out to be the most epic road trip, the NC500 up in Scotland. So let's do this. So, the NC500, what is to say other than, wow, what a road trip that was. I knew I wanted to go to Scotland, but I'd never heard of the NC500 until I started looking into it. And oh my God, it was amazing. So, it says NC500, North Coast 500, 500 miles. I think we ended up on about 750. We travelled everywhere, stopped everywhere we could. We were very lucky. We didn't have a time frame to do it in, and we did it over 23 days. Yeah, we had places, we had it set out places we wanted to go to, but it was almost on a day-to-day basis we were picking where we were staying, and that was just down to the fact that we had the freedom to be able to do that. We went out of the school holiday times as well, so it was a lot quieter. I can imagine it does get busy during the school holidays. So NC500 started at Inverness. So we spent the night at Inverness, and it was a bit drizzly, but it didn't dampen our spirits. We was absolutely buzzing to get going. So we went from Inverness, we went to a place called Fortrose. And Fortrose is, we stayed at the campsite there, and Fortrose is famous. There's a little walk, 20-minute walk down to a place called Channery Point, where you can see, if you're lucky enough, dolphins swimming off the shore about 5 meters, as close as 5 meters away from you, jumping in and out of the water. Wow, what an experience. So we parked up, we went straight down to January Point, because the owner said it's about this time that the dolphins are there. We're lucky enough to see like the dolphins. So we spent an hour down there, and I mean, we've seen dolphins before, but I don't think you ever get sick of seeing dolphins. To me, they're amazing. So from Channery Point, we decided to go for a walk all the way down the beach, and we almost fell across Fairy Glen Falls. And Fairy Glen Falls, for those that don't know, is a lovely, nice, maybe 20-minute, fairly easy walk up to some amazing waterfalls. All right, hen, where you been to?
Hi.
What you doing?
We've been to the Fairy Glen Falls.
Any more?
We had a dram of whiskey earlier.
What was that?
I don't know.
I apologise to anybody Scottish out there who's watching for our terrible, terrible accents. So yeah, we've just been to the Fairy Glen Falls. Kind of fell upon it really. We're staying in a place called...
Well, we didn't actually fall upon it.
Where are we staying?
Fortrose
Bay.
Bay.
And we had a walk up, and there's a point, Chandry Point, that's got apparently the best place to see dolphins in the UK.
And it was.
And as we were walking up, we could see the dolphins jumping out the water. It was amazing. We spent about a good hour there, and then yeah, we've just walked a couple of miles down here, done the falls, which is amazing. The pictures
over 4 miles.
Over 4 miles. And now we're but we had a dram of whiskey to help us get along the route, so yeah, hopefully the whiskey power helps us get back as well. So like I said, we stayed at Fortrose. The next day we went to Rogie Falls, which is another walk and waterfall, which is again an absolutely fantastic place to another fairly easy walk again. Waterfalls well worth going to see. We stayed that night at Fyrish Monument. And we ended up staying 2 nights at Fyrish Monument because number one, Bella wasn't well, so we needed to find a vet. And number two, the oil light came on the van. So day 2, all going well. So yeah, luckily enough, the van was nothing serious, and luckily enough for Bella, it wasn't anything serious either, and she was right as rain the next day, which was good because we did the walk up the hill to the monument, and that's quite a hard walk. Like it's quite steep in places, but well worth the effort. Hello all, welcome back. We are in Rogie Falls at the minute. So it's got 2 walks. Stop it, you. Did that in the last video as well. You cheeky monkey. So it's got a blue walk and a yellow walk. So the blue walk is the woodland walk, and the yellow one is the salmon walk. Sorry, the blue one's the riverside walk. The yellow one is the salmon walk. So the salmon walk takes you down to the river where you're meant to be able to see the salmon leaping out the water, but I think we're probably the wrong time of the year for that, so we shall see. As you can see, Hannah's got her professional Nordic walking down to a T. Got your own sticks, ain't you?
Yep.
How you getting on with them?
Good, really good.
So, oh, wow. I mean, I don't know if you can see that properly, but just everywhere we seem to go, you just seem to stop and just go, wow. Scotland is truly amazing. And Bella's loving us life as well. Hello. Say hello. See you soon. Hello all. Stop it. So we stopped at Fyrish Monument last night, and we're actually staying here tonight as well. We had a very poorly dog, so we've had an emergency trip to the vets. Luckily everything was okay. She's had a couple of jabs and some antibiotics, and she should be right as rain. And like I said, we've turned up at Fyrish Monument today, and we've just coming to the end of the walk now. It's 2 miles uphill, and when I say uphill, I mean uphill. It was steep, and then we're just on the 2 miles downhill now. Yeah, it's a hard-ish walk, but well worth it when you get to the top, although it was a bit windy. No, I'm not down there, are we? Bella, this way. Yeah, you're right. What do I know? So
Always right. by the way. Always white.
She likes to think so. Yeah, so Fyrish Monument today. It's been good. Fyrish.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get to the top, there's a little monument. We'll put pictures up after this. And then tomorrow we are going round the coast a little bit more. I think we're going to Ballintor, is it?
Yep. And maybe Dornoch Bridge.
Yeah, that's the next day.
Okay.
So we're staying Ballintor tomorrow, and then Bona Bridge, and then so yeah, thanks for all for watching, and pictures to follow. See you later. So after Fyrish Monument, we went off route a little bit, and we went to a place called Ballintor. Ballintor is not on the NC500, but it's somewhere we wanted to see. They've got a mermaid statue on a rock in the middle of the sea, which is well worth a walk. Lovely walks, and as it was a nice day, we decided to spend the day on the beach and let Bella recover a little bit more and go for a swim ourselves. From Ballintor, we also stopped off at Shin Falls, and again a lovely waterfall. Not much walking this time, and from there we made our way to Dornoch. Now, when we were making our way up towards the NC500, we were in Loch Ness, and we bumped across brothers Michael and Tom, who were doing the high road to Dornoch, which were walking and kayaking from Musselburgh near Edinburgh to Dornoch, and we got chatting to them, and he said, if you're in Dornoch, come and say hello. So we popped in and to his shop, which is the Carnegie Whisky Cellars, and it would be rude not to. Yeah, he showed us around. Amazing little place. If you're in Dornoch, go in and have a mooch. Say hello to Michael. But it was great because Michael had all this local knowledge of places to go, so we started, like, our list was growing and growing and growing as he was giving these great places to go and see, which was fantastic. After there, we went to Dornoch Beach. Just had a walk down there. Again, it was a lovely day. Dornoch Beach was absolutely gorgeous, and people were saying on the west coast the beaches are brilliant, and we're already seeing brilliant beaches on the east coast, so we were very much looking forward to seeing what we were going to come up to. So from Dornoch we went and we visited Dunrobin Castle, and that is a big wow as well. What a place that is. And from after visiting there, we went and did a walk called the Big Burn Walk, and again, that was a walk to a waterfall, fairly easy, maybe about 20 minutes each way, with the waterfall at the end. But love, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. We stayed that night at a place called Latheron Wheel Harbour, and this was quite a tight road in, but worth it in the end. We were the only ones there. There was a couple of dog walkers came and left, but we were the only ones there, and we were overlooking the sea and the harbour, and yeah, it was a great stop off for people on their way. When we woke up the next day, we had our itinerary set, and so first port of call was Walligo Steps. Now, as with a lot of places, we found out nowhere really signposted. So we were like, we had it on our sat nav for Walligo Steps, and just you kind of go down like almost like a side road, and then yeah. But we parked up in a very small car park as well. Found the steps. I think we counted a different amount of steps on the way down as we did on the way up, and then we spoke to other people and they had different numbers as well. So if you know exactly how many steps it is, smash it in the comments. From Wallago Steps, we went to Wick. Well, we stopped there briefly. At this point, it started drizzling a little bit, so yeah, we got to Wick. The only reason we wanted to stop there is it's got the smallest street in the world. And when I say the smallest street, I mean it's probably this big. It's got a door and a few bricks either side of it, and that's about it. And a plaque saying it's the smallest street. Tick box. From there, we went up to John O'Groats. It was close enough now. We didn't have anything on our itinerary for the way up there, so yeah, we stopped off at John O'Groats, stayed at John O'Groats campsite, which is, from our campsite we could see the John O'Groats pole, which was great. The next day it was Orca week, and so we decided to go onto a boat trip and try and see orcas. Unfortunately, they decided not to show themselves on the time we were out on the boat, even though they did the previous day and later on in the evening, apparently. But hey ho, the boat trip was great. We wanted to see puffins, and we seen loads of puffins and seals and other wildlife while we was out there. And but it was very informative, and yeah, great boat trip in itself. So if you get an opportunity, go out on it. Hello all. So we've just done Robin Castle, which you can see in the background. What did you think, HB?
Very good. Good value for money.
Yes, £14 to get in. No dog, so we've had to leave Bella in the motorhome, but she's still not very well, so she will appreciate the rest. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, £14 to get in. Nice walk around. Loads going on. Got the gardens out the back as well, and all the falcons and things. They do a couple of falcon shows a day. We didn't pick the right times, did we? But that's all right, to be fair.
We sort of got to see them all, didn't we? Anyway, I think.
Yeah.
Owls and hawks.
But I mean, just look how impressive that building is, and it looks even better from the back view as well. So yeah, if you're in the area, you're doing the NC500, make sure you get down here. Welcome to you all from Wallago Steps. Well, the bottom of the steps. There's
300 well, I counted 319, but a guy on the way down said 370 something, so
we'll count them on the way back up, but we didn't count these ones up here. But wow, it's such a random place. Well, so you take a sharp turn into what looks like a private residential road, and there's about 8 car parking spaces at the bottom, and a sign that says steps on a piece of perspex. There's no actual signs that we could see, that brown touristy signs that tell you to come down here. But when we're here, it is just an absolutely amazing view. You've got to come and try it out. Yeah, there's 300 and something steps, but I don't know if you can see just how crystal clear the water is down there. Even Bella managed it, didn't you, Bella? So yeah, make sure you get yourself down here because the views aren't to be missed. What are you saying, HB? That's 100 down. 170, we're halfway there. 200. And just 100 and something to go. Best view. Sounds windy, but it doesn't feel too windy, does it? What are we on?
97, 98, 99,
300. 14, 15, 16. I don't think you can count these. So what we're saying?
316.
Whilst we were in the John O'Groats area, we drove to the Stacks of Duncansby, and that was great as well. Great walk, but wow, what amazing scenery, and the stacks are pretty impressive in themselves. We like them a lot. From there, we went to Dunnock's Head, and Dunnock's Head is the most northerly point of Britain, and so there was a few people knocking around. We waited for them to go so that we were the most northerly people in the country. So from Dunnock's Head, we took a drive along the coast and we saw Sandside. We stopped off at Sandside Beach, we stopped off at Betty Hill Beach, and we stayed at a place called Skerry Harbour. I'm probably murdering it. Skerry, Skeeray. That is a fantastic stop off. Only not a lot of room down there, but just a little tiny harbour. Little walk around the bay, but the water is crystal clear down there. But the route in again is very windy roads, very thin windy roads. After Skerry Harbour, we'd been told that to attempt Ben Hope Munro. So this isn't on the NC500; it was just off down south a little bit. So we jumped off, went and did this Ben Hope Munro, which was 977 meters high or something, and that we found that very well, quite tough, but also for Hannah as well. And those of you that have followed us know that 6 months ago she broke her leg, ankle, and heel, and was told she wouldn't walk for 6 to 12 properly for 6 to 12 months, and here she is climbing a mountain. But Ben Hope Munro bagged, as they say, and tick box. From there, we went and stayed. There's a little place to stay on the side of the road near Golden Eagle Zip Line. So we obviously, when we woke up, we obviously went and did the zip line. Great bit of fun. Go and do it. It's cheap as chips, and the view over the beach as well, as you're flying over, is awesome. While we were there as well, the lady who was running it said, "Did you see the eagle?" Now, we weren't looking out, but apparently there is a golden eagle in the area, hence the Golden Eagle zip line. So while you're there, keep your eyes up towards the sky and see if you can see the golden eagle.
It's easier said than done when you just can't break away. You just can't break away. Oh, young hearts, run free and never be hung up like my man and me. My man and me. Oh, young hearts, to yourself be true. Don't be no fool when love.
Yeah. Bye-bye. So you can take your feet off, that's good, right? And at the other side, just keep your hands there as well.
So after that, we visited Smoo Cave, and that was fantastic. I love that. And it was free to go and walk in. So you've got big steps all the way down, and then a massive cave entrance. And then as you walk in, there's a platform, and you can go and have a look inside the cave, or you can do one of the boat trips that they do, weather depending. And that takes you right into the cave and gives you a bit more information. So we did that, and that was that was well worth it as well. They say weather depending because it says if it rains, there's the rain comes off the land and comes down a hole into the cave, and the cave apparently fills up very fast. So if that's happening, I don't think there'll be any boat trips on. We stayed at Sango Sands. We didn't really need a campsite at this point, but everybody raves about Sango Sands, and yeah, the beach was phenomenal. There's no getting away from that. The beach was absolutely phenomenal, and Sango Sands, you're overlooking the sea and the beach, and it's got a nice bar area, etc. So yeah, no, it was a nice little stop off. But people say it gets really busy. But apparently they only book about 50% of their occupancy. Now, if I'm wrong about this, I do apologise, but this is like what I think is correct. But yeah, they only book 50%, and then they take people turning up and booking from 12 o'clock on that day. So yeah, we turned up at 11:50, asked to book a site, and they asked to book a pitch, and they gave us a nice pitch overlooking the sea, which was fantastic. And like I said, I went down on the beach, and the beach was brilliant, and the sea was still very cold. From there, we moved on, and we went to Old Shore Moor. Now, again, a bit off the track, but again, wow, what a lovely beach. But now we're on the west coast, so we know that the beaches are going to start getting really good. These are sandy beaches and clear seas. We drove down to Kailescu Bridge and stopped at either side, drove over the bridge, and again, amazing bridge. We stayed on the other side of it for the night, and the next day we went to Wailing Widows Falls. Now, there is another name for it, a Scottish name for it, and I'm not even going to pretend to try and pronounce it. So we'll just call it Wailing Widow Falls. Again, Wailing Widow Falls, no signs saying it's here. No, there was just, as we drove by, the sat nav picked it up, and there was cars parked there. Now there's a walk in, and it's not a path. It's quite rocky. It's up and down. This wasn't the easiest, but yeah, when you get there again, absolutely amazing. From there, we went on and we did Clashnessie Falls. Now, Clashnessie Falls, again, not signposted, but it parked up, and it's about a 20-minute walk. Again, about a 20-minute walk in. The problem with it was, now we weren't complaining about this, but it's where you even it up. The whole time we were there in Scotland, we hadn't had any rain. apart from like a couple of drops on a few days. That was it. But obviously, with no rain, becomes the waterfalls aren't as good as they are if it rains, because they're drying up. So yeah, whilst we've seen it, I imagine we could go back again now, and it would be completely different. But well worth a stop. And then, wow, the absolute pinnacle at that point of where we were going, and we stopped off at Achmelvik Bay, and oh my god, that was just like a picture out of a postcard. It is like if you'd have put the weather there, it was the Caribbean. It was Caribbean beach. The sand was golden. The sea was absolutely see-through and turquoise, and oh yeah, you have to go there. It is an amazing place. So from there, we went and headed to Ullapool. Ullapool was handy just to help fill up our LPG and get to a supermarket and fill up the stocks and the provisions, fill up the fridge and from there we stayed just up the road from Corrie Gorge, overlooking this most amazing view of this valley area, and again very peaceful. The next day we went to Corrie Gorge and went and had a walk down into the gorge, which was fantastic. Water coming down obviously one side as you walk over the bridge, and then as you go round there's like a viewing platform that sticks out over the gorge so you can have a better look. Metal grating floor as well, so you can see all the way down to the bottom. But yeah, Corrie Gorge is a beautiful place. From there, we went to a place called Melon. We drove down and we stayed at a place called Melon Udrigal. And again, I think that's just off the NC500 route. But again, a fantastic beach, fantastic weather, another excuse for a dip in the sea, and yeah, it was a nice little stop off. After that, as we drove down, we visited Victoria Falls. Again, a nice falls that you stood in the middle of it as well. I don't think you could do that in the winter. You'd probably get swept away. But yeah, nice little stop off of Victoria Falls. And over the other side of it, I can't remember the name of the lake, but we'd spotted it on the way down. And so we went and drove down to it, and it was so calm and so crystal that it had forest and mountains all around it, and there was just a mirror image of everything that was above the water, over the water as well. It was pretty phenomenal. From there, we headed down to Gairloch, and Gairloch and Kinloch U. Kinloch U is where Callum the deer is famous for, and we were lucky enough when we pulled up that he was there, and he wasn't photo shy. So yeah, so we said hello to Callum and then headed and made our way to Applecross. Now, for all those who know, Applecross is famous for the Blacknabar Pass, which is a very thin, windy, hairpin road that just takes you down to the other side of Applecross. Now, we decided, as our motorhome is our home, that I'm not going to bother risking it. I'd love to have driven it, but I'm not going to risk it in case anything were to happen. We'd be a bit scuppered. So we went all the way back, and went round to, and then headed down towards Loch Carron and stayed on there, on the west side of Loch Carron. Stayed there the night, and then headed off further down south. And like I said, so that was kind of the end of our NC500 journey. We did head down towards Fort William and then over to Dalwhinnie, which is near Inverness, and then back over. But we decided not to go all the way back over to Inverness, like I said, because we wanted to do Skye and Isle of Harris and Lewis as well. So yeah, so NC500. All I can say is do it. If you get the opportunity, do it. I don't expect everybody's got 23 days, but there's videos and posts and tips for people who've done it for as little as 5 days. I'd give yourself minimum, I would say, is a week. We took it easy. We took it nice and leisurely. We didn't get up early and head straight off. We had a cup of coffee and a natter, and some days we just chose where we were going to go on the day. But that is what we do. We found that if we plan and then we say, right, we're going here, this day here, this day here, this day, it doesn't end up like that for us. And there's so many places to see, and you might drive by and you might think, oh, I want to stay an extra few hours here. So yeah, plan it out as much as you can, plan out where you want to go, but if you've got a little bit of freedom, take as much time as you possibly can is probably my best advice. Some of the roads are, let's say, challenging. The Wee Mad Road on the west coast, didn't realise we were driving it until we were on it, and the road was as wide as the motorhome wheels. But the great thing about Scotland, everywhere you drive, and the roads are like that, there's passing places. So just be considerate as well when you're doing it. But most of all, enjoy it. Enjoy the views. They are absolutely phenomenal. I would say the east coast is very picturesque. The north coast a bit more commercial, but still not commercial in that it's going to cost you a fortune. Like Smoo Cave to get in was free. John O'Groats to swing around the pole was free. But then you've got all the beaches as well. But then you get to the west coast, and it's literally like every time you turn a corner, you're going, wow. And it's like the views out in front of you are just phenomenal. And you're just like, it can't get any better than this. And then you turn the corner and you just go, wow. And then you go to a beach and it's brilliant. And then you go to the next beach and it's like, it's even better. How is it even better? So yeah, but go and do it. Go and get it done. It is brilliant and well worth it. So I hope you find this this video interesting and informative. It's there to try and help you steal our ideas, plan your route. I'm going to put a list at the end of the video of everywhere we went, so you don't have to stand there scribbling. You can just take a screenshot. Yeah, give yourself as much time as possible. Don't be too worried about the roads. Just take your time, take it steady. But yeah, go and get it done. So thank you for watching. Please like the video, post any comments you want, and I'll get back to you. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to our page. We are also keeping up with the Stowies on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. So follow us on there and you'll get more daily input into where we're going and what we're doing. So thank you very much for watching. See you later.
Scottish that I wish you saw, sarcastic Mr. Know-It-All. I'll close your eyes and I'll kiss you, 'cause with the birds I'll share. With the birds I'll share this lonely view, and with the birds I'll share this lonely view. And push me up against the wall, young tuck girl in a push-up bra. I'm falling all over myself to lift your heart in case your health
Oh my god. Welcome to the Caribbean.
May as well be.